Tweeting this in like 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Oh, I already did, so we got the go ahead. And
Okay.
I'm just saying now.
All right.
And you saying all right. And me saying that.
And me laughing.
Yeah, all of this is captured just for posterity. So yeah, we're playing EDF.
EDF 4.1 Shadow of New Despair on PC. Oh, you got to share your screen.
I did.
I'm not seeing it.
That's on you then.
Oh.
Now I just gotta remember how these buttons work. I totally shared my screen.
I don't see it. It like split weird.
Whatever. And watch it like everyone else in the stream.
Alright.
Oh, and it crashed because you're an asshole.
Oh, there it goes. I just saw it for a second there.
Yeah, well, it crashed because you're a giant douche.
I'm sure that is the reason why.
That is the only reason
It's
it
the
happened.
only reason why.
The only reason it happened.
Well, I mean,
it
is my superpower.
Yep, a giant douche.
The ability to crash games with douchiness.
Yep. Yep. I hope you're monitoring the chat because like 80,000 things popped up over it and I can't see it. And I don't want to crash it anymore.
Alright, hold on, let me get over there.
Okay, that's that.
Alright, let's see what we got. Technical difficulties. It happens.
Yeah. Especially when you're involved, you asshole. So yeah, this is EDF. It's like the Japanese take on a 1950s horror, sci-fi horror movie. Long-running franchise. The first one, you might know if you're a fan of obscure Japanese games, you might be familiar with the series Simple 2000. You're not at all, are you?
I am not.
So in Japan, especially on the PS2, there was a game series called Simple 2000. They were called Simple 2000 literally because I might have to restart the stream. It looks like shit right now. It was called Simple 2000 because they cost 2,000 yen, which is equivalent to $20.
Oh, like in the arcade or
No,
just for, like, a
period,
game?
to buy.
Yeah,
So
this
the
has
game's-
always been. Yeah, I think it's always been the more like a budget title.
No. So in Japan, this came out as a fucking budget title. This is running like shit. I'm gonna.
The stream is pretty choppy.
Well,
here.
that's not actually on my end on the
Oh.
capture part of it. Oddly enough. Alright, we should be fine right now. There we go. Yeah, and so in Japan, the first game was $20. But you also had games in the series of the Simple 2000 series that you would get that would be like Zombie versus Ambulance is one of my favorite ones to reference. and you were an ambulance driver that you would go to save patients in an infected area. Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
It never made it to the States. Why the fuck
Yeah.
ever would you have heard of it?
Yeah.
A friend of mine was actually big into them because, you know, I think it was like, he would import, like, I think you could get like 4 for $100. And so they're like just these ridiculous fucking games, and they're all kind of like this. And the thing about the EDF games is, they're ridiculous. Like, the first EDF game, some of the fucking missions took an hour plus. Like, a lot of the missions would take an hour plus to beat. And
Really?
there was 100 plus missions.
I thought these games are just kind of known for their just ridiculous, over the top. Like, they're just like kind of like mindless, stupid fun.
Oh, they are. But they would just keep fucking going and going. And it was just like, it was a lot of the same shit over and over again. But it was, you know, it was stupid, ridiculous fun that you could throw in. And there was just a ton of, like, you got your fucking money's worth.
Yeah.
If you were one of those people that was like, you know, I don't really want to spend like $60 on fucking the new God of War. Those games only last for like, you know, 5 hours or whatever. Right. Like, you would want to buy one of these games, because these games you get your fucking, like, these games don't fucking end. They just go forever.
I thought weren't the Earth Defense Force games just built around like co-op as well?
Oh yeah, well yeah.
And that's where a lot of the stupid fun comes from. You just get you could jump really high, you get a jetpack,
and
you
there's
get big guns.
And not only is there team damage, there's like self splash damage. So one of the easiest ways to grind in this game is to go into the first fucking level and just turn it up to the highest difficulty. And you'll actually get like you'll get like really high level drops really fucking early. The downside to that, though, is the enemies all kill you in one fucking hit, because they're expecting you to have, because like, it's sort of RPG elements, because you'll see I'm like picking up these health drops here. What that is when I beat the level, it'll say, okay, you picked up this many health drops, this much armor upgrade, you know, you picked up all these weapons, you now have access to all this higher end stuff. And
that's what keeps you coming back for more. You always want to get that upgrade. You always want to dangle that carrot.
You're always a little more powerful.
Yeah.
But if you play like the first level over and over and over and over again on nightmare difficulty, you get that shit really fast. And a lot of people will actually just do that on co-op. They'll sort of like find someone who's willing to just play online the first level. Sometimes even just like really high level people will just drag random people through co-op. Like,
and are you always fighting bugs, or I thought it was like aliens and stuff too?
It's fucking everything. They don't discriminate. They don't care.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of these games, and I don't know if I've ever actually played one. I think maybe my closest, I don't think I've ever actually played a Earth Defense Force game. I've played like kind of like spin-off games. I remember like Marines on N64 I played, which is like this, but nowhere near as like smooth and ridiculous and good.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is just the kind of game like this, the mindless fun. Like I said, like, you know, you get four of your buddies involved. You know, let's kill a half hour with this.
Yeah.
You know, and have some stupid mindless fun where you don't have to think about anything.
And
so here's where you get to level up.
It's like easy, normal, hard, hardest, inferno. So you have all of that stuff. And it's, you can see, like, there's And, like, I have a high-end PC. It kind of looks good, but, like, even in the distance, you're like, we don't really fucking care that much about, like,
Yeah.
drawing and shit.
Yeah,
like, fuck it.
That was one of the things about these games that I've always seen. Like, it's fun. It's not that well polished, but you could still have fun with it. You know, don't take it too seriously because
this was like $50 fucking bucks.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it was like last gens, like Earth Defense Force 3.
If you wait, they go on sale
pretty quick. Yeah.
Like, fucking constantly, these games are on sale. Every Steam sale it drops. A friend of mine basically, when he sold me on this, he basically said, it is the best, like, I'm really drunk and I don't know what to play right now.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah.
Like, if you're shit-faced and you're like, I really just want to play something and have a lot of fun and I don't know what to play, you should play an Earth Defense Force game.
Yep.
Like,
That's what I've heard.
If you're shit-faced, you should probably just play EDF. Because this game probably gives as many fucks as you do in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It knows what's going on.
Yeah, just fucking do it. It's like the first rap song about dinosaurs. You're welcome, Internet. And so yeah, but you wanted to talk about Dragon Quest VII.
Yeah, I wanted to hear what you think. I have not picked it up. I haven't played it. I want to know what's going on with this.
So, how did you feel about the fake English accent they threw on everyone in Dragon Quest games?
You know what? Let's see. Last Dragon Quest game that I think I've played was Dragon Quest III on Game Boy Color.
Okay.
So I haven't played a new the only reason why I haven't played it, not that I want to play these games, but I know that they take just dozens and dozens and dozens of hours, and I'm like, I just cannot.
Well, Dragon Quest III, that had like the watered down job system that you could get to. Did you ever beat it?
No, hell no.
Okay.
That was a long game as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They all are.
So the Dragon Quest games are stupid long, and recently they've been adding like all of these fake old-timey English accents into it.
Okay. On just not on 7, but on other.
Oh, and all of them.
Oh.
Like, they've even been going back, like, when they've been redoing the old ones and adding them. And so, I'm not a super huge, like, it's, when it's done well, it's not the most annoying thing in the world. Like, whatever. Like, when they did it in Dragon Quest VII, it was because the guy, one of the guys sort of spoke in, like, an odd dialect that doesn't really translate well. And then they kind of started doing it for everyone to make it sound more authentic-y and old-timey.
Okay.
Which...
And that's what they did with 7 here? They put bad accents in?
Well, okay. So it's all text-based. There's no voice acting.
Oh.
So here's the problem with that. So let's say the main character is supposed to have an English accent. They randomly fucking forget that they do that mid-paragraph. There's a character in my party that had, I don't fucking know, like a, what the fuck would you call it? In the first, like, hour to 2 hours of the game, like, whatever you would call, like, the sort of gang member of London English accent with, like, bollocks and crikey, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
completely dropped it now. Doesn't say fucking anything like that. As it was in the beginning of the game, he would spout out entire paragraphs of text in and out of that dialect. Completely in and out of dialect. So right there, the translation is kind of fucked. I mean, that's sort of like a fucked localization right there.
Yeah. Other than localization, maybe problems. How's like the gameplay? Is it still a fun game to play?
So, you played Dragon Quest III.
Yeah, I know what they are. Oh yeah.
Okay. When you level up in a Dragon Quest game, you know the sound it plays, right?
Sure.
I mean, like, you've probably played one. It's like that, like, you would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, the way that normally goes is, whatever the winning battle or area music is, and then level up music, possibly going back to ambient music, back to area music, to level up music if it needs to be played again, right? You know what I'm talking about, like at the end of the battle?
Oh, yeah.
So, this
jingle
game,
thing.
what this does is literally go from winning the battle to silence to playing the level up music to a good 5 to 10 seconds of silence to you sitting through the menu of what your character's gained. And then it might happen again if someone else leveled up.
Oh.
Yeah, and like music doesn't start again. It's just, okay, well, you beat the battle. Sit in silence. And
strange audio cues then, huh?
Oh my god. So when I started the game, I sat there and thought, oh shit. I literally had this thought, oh my god, I think the game froze on me.
Yeah.
Legitimately thought the game froze on me. And like turned on the music to see what was happening. No, it was just playing an entire song when someone joined my party. And I'm not exaggerating. The entire fucking, like, the character's theme when they joined my party.
Mm-hmm.
Start to finish.
So is it still a fun game to play, other than, some sound issues, some localization problems?
Finish played the fucking theme. So,
yeah.
I've heard there are frame rate issues. I'm playing it on a new 3DS.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine has said possibly the weird sound issues I'm having with, like, is this game frozen? Like, what the fuck is going on? Why is music not loading? All of that stuff. His theory is that instead of having frame rate issues, I'm having all of those issues instead. It's a trade-off. Yeah. And my comment is, oh, so you mean the game wasn't properly play-tested? Which is sort of what it feels like. And this was, and I'm not shitting you, localized by Treehouse.
Well, Dragon Quest VII, that's been out on 3DS, has been out in Japan for like 3 years? It's been out for a while, right?
I'm pretty sure Dragon Quest VII was a 3DS launch title.
I don't know if it was that for Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it goes
that was 5 years. It's 3 or 4 years fucking old, though.
Yeah, well,
Like
it's
even
right.
the
So
copyright on it's pretty fucking
so
old.
you figure that it would still be optimized for the original 3DS because the new 3DS wasn't out yet. So you figure if anything, it's going to work better on a new 3DS just because load faster,
It
whatever.
doesn't though.
And I actually bought because I want to play all these Dragon Quest games because I'm so far behind. I bought what did I buy? Four, 5, and 6 on regular DS through a
4,
GameStop.
5, and 6 are actually very, very good games.
That's what I hear. That's why I wanted to play them. That's why I bought them. So I bought them at a buy two get one free sale on at GameStop, whatever, one day, and then you use discount codes and all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So I have them and they're sitting there ready to go.
Those
Just-
are.
I heard like 5 is the best. I don't I heard that five is pretty damn good.
4 is a really good starting place. 5 is the best plot. I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But
Like it's
if
got a
you
great
wanna
story.
Get into the series like mechanically, 4 is shorter. It's like if you have like a FAQ next
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you,
Then it's okay.
yeah, you can. It's you don't need to use it as much. The stuff that they added for the story wise is it actually streamlines the story quite a bit. And it's just a lot of 4 is, I think, a lot of fun. 5 has the best story. Honestly,
Yeah, I heard 5. Yeah, I heard 5 has the best story.
I'm not gonna
like
lie. 6, I forgot I beat 6.
So that's not good.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally picked 6 up, and I'm like, man, I love Dragon Quest games. Why the fuck did I never finish this? I picked it up, and I was like, well into the fucking post game, and I'm like, what the fuck did this happen? I'm
Yeah.
like, and then I'm like, I don't even remember who the bad guy was in this fucking game.
Yeah, I heard just 4, 5, and 6 are like the best. Or some of the best.
6 is really fucking I think my problem with 6 was so you really don't care about plot in games.
No,
I know you, and you don't give a fuck about plot.
I do. I like a good story. I mean, that's why I wanted to play 5 first because I heard it was a great story, but I didn't know if it was going to be if I was going to hinder myself because okay, you want to play 4 first because 4, you're going to see much better gameplay mechanics in 5 over 4. You want to play them in order. I didn't know if that meant anything.
I think 4 is a good starting spot for the series. Like, if you're new to the series and you want to get into it, I think 4 is the place you want to start.
Is it the shortest story?
It is the shorter of the game. Like,
so
4, 5, lengthwise, it goes 4, 5, 6.
So 4 is probably 40 hours, and 5 is 50 hours, and
no. Like 4, you could probably do in 20 hours.
Oh, yeah. Now that's talking more my language, so I can maybe. I have a much better chance of finishing a 20-hour game than a 50-hour game these days.
I bought that on my DS, and between lunch breaks at work,
that's what I need to
half
say.
an hour lunch breaks, and occasionally playing it before I went to sleep, I played through that entire fucking game.
Yeah.
And relatively quickly too. 5. 5.
Isn't 5 you start as a baby? Was that 5 and then you just play this whole dude's life? Was that 5 or was that 6?
You start as a baby? That is 5. You do play through his entire
That's
life.
5. Okay.
You have to choose his
Yeah.
wife.
And you go through the whole game kind of just like a real life, almost like a not like a Sims, obviously, but like
No, but
from like the
it's
beginning. Yeah, like it's
the
this whole dude's
interesting.
life.
The interesting thing about 5 is it's like the only one that you're not the destined hero.
Ah,
You have
that's what I thought made it cool. Yeah, that's what everybody keeps saying because it's like it's kind of free form a little bit. It doesn't really. You can kind of go off the track. It's kind of like your own game. So I heard 5 was 4, 5, and 6 are great, but 5 is the best. Like
story wise, I will
if
a
if you like,
1000% agree with that.
let me ask this question: if I can only play 1, 4, 5, or 6, what would it be?
I'm partial to
5?
4. That's probably
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
4 was kind of my like my entry point into this. Like I played 7 and I didn't really like 7.
See, I started with 1 when it came free with my Nintendo Power subscription back
Everyone
in like
says that.
yeah, that's where I mean if you like you go back and you play like you can't play 1 now on NES. It is so slow and unplayable because it's hard as shit. You have to grind.
I actually it's on the iPhone and I bought it and played all the way through it.
That's crazy. On iPhone, that's
and
nuts.
it's
That is
actually
nuts.
substantially easier.
You know what? I'm sure they modernized it. They had like speed, it's had to sped it up. Maybe it's not as grindy, but if you go back and you play like the original NES game on an emulator or something, well, you know what they also did? They also had Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on Game Boy Color, and then they had Dragon Quest 3 on Game Boy Color as well. Then 4, 5, and 6,
well,
and
they
now
had
7.
those on Super Nintendo as well.
And they had them on Super Nintendo. Yeah, they had one
well,
one
two,
through
and
one
three
through
were on
one
Super
through
Nintendo at one
one
point.
1 through 4 were NES games, or more specifically, they were on NES, but also Famicom
4
games.
was Super Nintendo.
No, 4 was on NES.
Was it?
Yep, 100%. It was like one of the last Nintendo games, and it was on a. Oh man, was it a 2 megabit cartridge or something? Like something or it might have been like a 4. Like it was some.
I don't
it was
think
like the
4
biggest.
came stateside though.
It was definitely. Oh man, I think it did. Let me check.
I know 3 came stateside, and 3, like the stateside version of 3 is dumb expensive.
You know what? It was still Dragon Warrior at that point.
Yeah.
Hold on. I know it was obviously on Famicom. Yeah, Dragon Warrior. Yeah, right here. Dragon Warrior 1, 2, 3, and 4 on NES. And Dragon Warrior 4, oh man, was October 1992. Holy shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that was
this was like this was like one of the last games like that. Like Wario was probably like number 2.
That Super Nintendo was well into its life cycle.
It was already, yeah. But Dragon Warrior 4, man, it was I want to say it was on like a 4 megabit cartridge. It was something stupid. It was the biggest. It is the biggest Nintendo game. The original Nintendo game. It's crazy. And so 4, is obviously now on DS, regular original DS. So you can play the whole, well, up to 7 now, 1 through 7 on a handheld system.
Yeah. No, you can play. 8 is coming out, so you can play 1 through 9.
Oh yeah, and then 8 is coming
by
out
Christmas.
as well, yeah.
You'll be able to play 1 through 9, because 9 was released on the DS.
Oh, 9 was on the yes. That's what it was. So I bought 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I didn't buy 9 because just from the number alone, it was like, well, I need to probably play these 3 these 3 games first before I can jump into this.
9 is
That's right.
9 is a fucking time investment.
Yeah.
But I lost my fucking mind to 9.
Did Dragon Quest Builders come out yet?
That's October.
That's October. I thought, yeah, okay. I didn't know if that just came out or okay. All right.
And
are you going to pick that up?
Dragon Quest X never came stateside. I'll probably pick it up, yeah.
Yeah, that might be pretty.
I mean, I fucking picked up Dragon Quest
Heroes.
So
Yeah, right.
The game that fucking runs better. It's so fucking poorly localized that it runs better in Japanese. I'm not making that up. If you run it in Japanese, the frame rate increases, and the game actually, like, doubles in speed.
This Earth Defense Force game is just pretty. I mean, I'm watching you play this. This is just crazy. I mean, you got these these giant, ridiculous bugs. There's just explosions. The buildings, all the buildings crumble. Pretty interactive.
A UFO just came by.
Nuts. On I can talk about it a little bit, but I can't go in too much detail. But I got a code for Natsume's River City Tokyo Rumble.
Fuck off.
Which comes out next week, and I actually beat it yesterday, and that game is awesome. I love that game, so I'm gonna give it. I'm just started writing my review for it. I'm gonna hope to have it. The embargo lifts on Monday. So I'm really
writing
gonna try
my Hatsune Miku review.
Yeah,
that game came out a while ago. I'm an asshole.
I'm trying to get my.
I can talk about that game all you want. Ask me anything.
Well, we streamed it. We got it when I think the stream is posted too.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, River City Tokyo Rumble. I can't really talk about details, but I'm really happy with that game. It's awesome. It's actually surprisingly humorous. I did not know that they were going to put that much comedy into the game. I think it's actually very well translated, well localized. I couldn't believe the ending is just, oh man, it's for the fans, and blew my mind when I saw the ending. I was like, wait, is that? And I was like, no freaking way they did it. So there's a lot of surprises. Super happy with it.
One more thing I want to bitch about localizations for a second.
Sure.
They tried to make I'm trying to remember what the fuck the female character in that Dragon Quest game.
9?
No, 7. I'm trying to remember what her name is. I don't know. They tried to make her like a strong, independent woman character, and instead of doing that, they basically what the fuck? So instead of doing that, they basically just made her an insufferable bitch. Instead of being like, I'm my own woman, they basically made her entire bitch. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
How many players you get in your party in 7? Is that 4-man?
It's 4.
It's usually Dragon Quest games are usually 4, right? For them, I mean, I think 3 was like, yeah, but yeah.
It 4.
Final like you play the Final Fantasy games, it's always like you got 4 guys in your party, or 4 guys in your party. Like 4, you had 5. But I thought Dragon Quest games are usually like 4. But
it depends on the game.
Yeah. Because that was one of the things with the later Dragon, because Dragon Quest 1 was only, you're it. You only got one-man team, and then you got your other party members, and they would actually follow behind you, Earthbound style.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, Earthbound, to copy them, because that was first, but that's nuts how you can just shoot this rocket launcher that far into the distance. So, I mean, even though it's like, the draw distance ain't bad, it's like, I mean, look at that, you're shooting super far into this thing. You warming up a heater? There you go. Well, whoa. Yeah, I didn't realize how destructive this game is. How just everything can be blown up.
Oh yeah, everything.
I mean, if you really analyze it, like all the ground is flat. It's the same kind of texture when the building is, busted open. It just kind of disappears. But I didn't think that the game was going to have this level of
fucking design every building.
Yeah,
and they all break apart kind of individually.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm impressed. I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to have this much detail in it. I was keeping my expectations much lower for Earth Defense Force. Ants and spiders always make for great video game enemies.
Yeah, I just don't want to fight the fucking drones.
I was gonna say this is gonna be a little trickier. You gotta like lock on now.
Well, I have lock on.
Yeah, you can't just like shoot like a grenade, rocket launcher and have the explosion. You gotta pick them out of the sky now.
Yeah, they really like. I guess the guy in charge of the localization is kind of a notorious prick.
I mean, Dragon Quest fans have been asking for that game
forever.
Since it came out in Japan.
I have no fucking idea. Like, Square basically just said it was really weird. They were just like, fuck it, Nintendo will publish it. I have no idea why it ended up the way it did. No fucking clue.
Yeah, I don't know when it came out in Japan. Oh, Dragon Quest Eden. Okay, let's see if that's...
Could you, not have any more answers for longer periods of time?
I'm trying to do some research.
Oh, cool. That sounds fun. I think it was 2013.
Yeah.
Is the answer.
Yeah, I know it's been a while, so fans have been bitching about it forever.
I have been bitching about it forever, yes. Well, and the thing is, like, it also, like, when it came out, it was a super fucking late PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, it was.
It didn't fucking, like, they released, I believe, 4 copies of it.
That was a big game, too. It was, what, 3 discs? 4 discs?
39 discs.
Yeah.
I think it was, like, one of those games that like they had like a lot of places had the balls to ask for like $80 or something.
Really? It was that much?
I remember like walking into stores and seeing it and being like, this looks like a Super Nintendo game. Like I remember looking at it and being like, this looks like a Super Nintendo game. I've never like you haven't released, like, your selling points on the back are first one of these released in almost a decade, and it's 100 hours long. None of this, like, you're telling me nothing about this fucking game, and you want a fucking fortune for it. No thank you. And, like, Final Fantasy VII had just come out. And like you look at like Dragon Quest.
Yep.
And you're like, go fuck yourself. Like,
crazy.
That wasn't Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, and Final Fantasy IX had come out, and then Dragon Quest VII came out and looked like a fucking Super Nintendo game, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Dragon Quest VII actually was released on Halloween 2001.
In the United States?
In the United States, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And when was the fucking PS fucking 2 released? 2000?
PS2 was 2... oh, man.
It was
that
2000.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's It was 2001?
No, it was 2000. Christmas 2000.
And let's see here. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII was 2000.
Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, hold on.
Final
See, I
Fantasy
clicked-
VII was 97.
Oh, yeah. Shit. That's right. Yeah, I remember that was like a controversy at the time. It was like, why does this game look the way that it does? But it sells for about $150 if you got a new copy on eBay.
A new copy or a copy?
A new copy, a unopened copy, I believe, is what
Final
this...
Fantasy VII or Dragon Quest VII?
Dragon Quest VII.
Oh, that's way down.
Yeah, new copy, $150. Used $40. Dragon Quest VII on Amazon.
Oh, I would buy a used copy of Dragon Quest VII for $40.
Which is the same price for the 3DS version.
Well, actually, it's better than it was when it fucking first came out, fucking 15 years ago. But, no, it's that it was at one point, like a while ago, going for like $200 fucking dollars on
Yep.
Amazon. Used, going for $200.
Used, huh?
Yeah. So if it's going for $40 on eBay, like that's way fucking down. Like way down.
Maybe that the demand for this game just shrank because this game was just announced for the U.S.
That
you know?
that might be it. Is
Yeah.
that people were just like, oh,
People,
it's,
the demand.
like a remake's coming out. There's no reason.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been a good
Yeah.
run for us. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Gillman, or MyGamer, or the YouTube page, where I do things. What about you, sir?
And I am Zach. Go to mygamer.com. It's where we post everything: news, previews, reviews, streams, random blogs. I review some bad food sometimes as a joke. Check that out. I am at Zach Gaz on Twitter, ZACKGAZ. And we'll be back next week, I guess, then, right?
We will indeed.
Game on.